Welcome to Talk. The only show on the web where every team, good or bad, big or small, rigged or not rigged, has a voice. And gets to sit down exclusively with me. Everybody's opinion matters. Except for Patriots fans.
So, I think the Raiders, truthfully, bold prediction, are going to win the freaking Super Bowl. I don't think there's anything holding them.
Welcome to the show where the only thing that matters is you. Welcome to Talk Time. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Talk Time, another edition of Talk Time. Today we've got my man Ian joining us for the first time on the show. We're going to be talking a little Jet preseason recap. So go ahead and enjoy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Time. We're doing Jet football here again with my man Ian, and we're going to be recapping the preseason. Not so much the results of the games, but just the growth of the players that we saw and the playing time of people that was able to come in and the evolution of Austin Seferian-Jenkins. That man is going to be a playmaker, I'm telling you. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with you, Ian. What have you seen from the Jets quarterbacks? Because that's obviously a topic in everybody's mind. Do you think the right decision was made in putting Josh McCown as the starter? And do you think Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg should be the backup? Go ahead.
I think it was a right decision, but we all knew that it was coming. I mean, Josh McCown, great veteran quarterback. Yes, he may have been on thousands of other teams in the past, but I think he's a good, he should be a good quarterback for us in the future, hopefully. And Bryce Petty, I think Petty should be the backup quarterback. Hackenberg, he's not ready yet.
Yeah, I feel you're right exactly what you're saying there, Ian. Yeah, Josh McCown. You can say what you want about the guy. You know, he's been on, this is his 8th NFL team. But look, this man is not a bad quarterback. He's really not. He's been put in a lot of bad situations. You look when he was Jay Cutler's backup, I believe, in Chicago. He clearly beat Jay Cutler out every preseason for that job. And they kept Jay Cutler there because they thought he had some sort of chemistry with Brandon Marshall, Alshon, Forte, and what's his name? Martellus Bennett. But he clearly played better. The Browns, he clearly outperformed every quarterback there. That's two teams that really don't have quarterbacks. But Josh McCown is a smart quarterback in a sense. In a sense to where he can manage the game, get first downs. But the bad situation a lot of people are seeing right now is him taking hits and stuff like that. Well, you've got to look at the offensive line on our team also. We released Nick Mangold, Breno Giacomini, and DeBrickashaw Ferguson over the past couple years. So, I mean, those are 3 studs on the offensive line. But now we still got Brian Winters. We still got Wes Johnson at center. But, you can't expect a guy 38 years old to be all over the place and be his young self once again and be throwing darts and getting away from the pressure. So with what he's got to do, it's not that hard. And when you've got Bilal Powell and Matt Forte in the backfield, that also elevates you. So, yeah, I feel like the right decision was made, putting a veteran quarterback in there with Josh McCown. Hackenberg obviously showed us he's not ready to take the reins just yet. He's really rash with his decision-making. He's too slow with his decision-making. Because I've seen receivers open in the end zone or open down the field several times in this preseason, and he's just not seen them. He's going through his progressions too slow. He's going through his reads too slow. So I feel like the right decision was made. Bryce Petty, I wanted him to be the starter. I wanted Bryce Petty to be the starter, but he's too much of a risk taker. So I really do think he should be the backup, though, because he for something about Bryce Petty, maybe it was the last 4 games, but something about him makes other players want to play out of their minds. I don't know if it's Bryce Petty because he always wants to take shots down the field. He's always putting his body on the line or something like that. Something like Fitzpatrick did, before the 6 interception game. Fitzpatrick got everybody lifted up. He got everyone motivated every week. And they went out there and performed. Like you could see in the Giants game when Hackenberg went down after the first half, the team just basically, once he threw that second pick six, the team basically gave up on him the rest of that half. But when Bryce Petty came in, everybody wanted to play again, and we come back into the game. All of a sudden, we got just about a tie ball game. So, you could say different things there, but Bryce Petty should definitely be the backup, and then put Hackenberg at third string. Barring this Bryce Petty MCL injury, which I thought wasn't going to hold him back, but I just wanted to be extra safe and not let him play against the Eagles. I feel like Bryce Petty should be the backup, much as you said. McCown at 1, Petty at 2, and Hack at 3. So, yeah. All right, so now the second question. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, man. That touchdown catch against the Giants just gave everybody chills, man. This is a man who has been in and out of trouble his entire career in the NFL, the last 4 years or 3 years, I believe, and really hasn't been able to establish himself as a player or a man. So you see the guy in this offseason, starting in the spring, he said, I'm done. No more drinking, no more trouble. I'm focused on football and impressing my family and being there for them. And he got a touchdown grab this last night against the Eagles, man. A fantastic catch for that matter, over the helmet of another guy, turning around and falling down, almost like a backwards catch. And from Hackenberg, just a great catch. So how do you feel? You've seen Austin Seferian, and all throughout training camp, he's been obviously the number one standout guy. Everyone said it. So what do you think about this transformation of ASJ?
I think it's great. I mean, when's the last time we actually used a tight end?
Exactly.
He's great, man. I'm finally happy that we're using the tight end.
It's been awesome to see. It's almost like a feel-good story, like one of those movies that have just a really happy ending. It feels like we're really close to that ending. It's just awesome, man. I'm loving to see this turnaround, man. It's inspiring. It's really inspiring. It should be inspiring for a lot of young players out there that get involved in substances and they don't know how to, they think their career is going to end. If he can really revive his career and do like he did against the Giants and how everybody's saying he's done in this offseason, this could be huge for the Jets. Having a tight end, like you said, a tight end is the most underused position on the Jets offense in the last 5-6 years. So this would be huge. If the Jets can find a reliable tight end and show Gronk he's not the only tight end that can flash things in the AFC, this would be great, man. So, yeah, man, the Jets finished out 2-2 on the preseason. Did anything stand out from this defense? Like, is there any one player or two players that you could think of that stood out to you this entire offseason, this entire preseason, rather, that have just played lights out?
I want to say the two safety rookies, Jamal Adams and my boy Marcus May.
There you go.
Those guys have been showing up all preseason. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, man. I'd have to go with Jamal Adams for sure as my first guy. This guy literally, he said in an interview that he would literally give his life for the game of football. That is, that's wild. That's crazy and it scares people, but that guy plays with everything he's got in him. That is something the Jets have looked for. They've longed for at the safety position, for as long as I can remember. So this is huge. This guy has been everywhere where the ball has been this preseason, whether it's tackling guys on the line, whether it's making tackles in space, which Calvin Pryor and Marcus Gilchrist could neither one for some reason do. So Jamal Adams is definitely my first guy. And my other guy, he's got to be Justin Burris. Yeah. Justin Burris, the young corner out of NC State that we drafted, was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year in the draft because that's when we drafted Hackenberg. Yeah, this man, he's locked down almost every person he's been on. Every time you see the ball come his way, you hear his name. You hear his name every time. You've never seen him get beat. The Jets haven't gotten beat over top this preseason at all much, really. Everything. I mean, you look at it. There's a reason they haven't been getting beat. It's because on one side they've got that Claiborne guy, That young guy who's also performed pretty well. But the other side, they got Justin Burris fighting for that number 2 spot. And I feel like he's beating Buster Screen out for that spot. I do not want to see Buster Screen at the number 2 corner position this year. I really don't. Because I don't understand why this guy gets beat all the time. Every time he's in press coverage, he gets beat. Doesn't matter who he's guarding, you know. But Justin Burris has ran, even if he gets beat, he competes with the ball. He's like one of those, like a young Champ Bailey almost. You know, the guy can play any type of coverage, press, you know, cushion, you know, drop back, everything. So I just love what I've seen out of Burris and Jamal Adams. And the good thing about that, those two guys, our number 1 weakness last year was the secondary. And I feel like the secondary might be a force to be reckoned with this year, man. So, anyways, that's pretty much it from us, you guys. The Jets finished out the preseason 2-2 with wins over the Eagles and the Titans, both at home. They dropped the road games, which one of them was against the Giants, so it's really not the road. But the Jets ended the preseason on a good note, and they ended it on a win, and everybody's got a good feeling, you know. And the ones even played a little bit, so Josh McCown finally got some reps. I feel like it was a good preseason, growth-wise. We saw more of Hackenberg and Petty. More of Hackenberg than we've ever seen as Jet fans. So that was great. And yeah, this defense is going to keep us in games. I'm telling people. People are saying 0-16. I'm like, how can you say 0-16? This defense is going to force us to be in every single game. There's no team that is going to just straight up shut us out unless our offense completely lays an egg, which I don't think will happen. And throughout the season, our offense is only going to get better. As they start to gel, hopefully no injuries happen, but as they start to gel, these receivers get in, Jermaine Kearse gets in there. This Jet team could be fun to watch. With all these young talent, man, it could be fun to watch. Any last remarks you'd like to say, Ian?
Yeah, I want to say, like a couple days ago, we were thinking that Robbie Anderson was a number 1 receiver. Well, now we got even a better receiver. Nice veteran receiver. Guy can play some football, and I want to see how well he does this season with us. And that man is Jermaine Kearse.
All right, man. We thank you guys for tuning in. We thank you, Ian, for being on the show. This has been Talk Time. We're talking a little Jets preseason recap. And as always, you heard it first from Harvey.